Jai Shri Ramakrishna. I am Sridharshni and I am here today to speak on the topic Why do I like Swami Vivekananda? We all know Swami Vivekananda was a great philosopher, a great sage, a great renounced personality, and every youngster makes him as role model. Every youngster gets inspiration from Swami Vivekananda on various aspects. And the same way, I too get inspired from Swami Vivekananda in various ways. But the particular reason which makes me to know more about Swami Vivekananda is that his great interest on music. We all know Swami Vivekananda is a great philosopher, but only few know Swami Vivekananda as a great musician too. Let's see his another side of being a musician. Swami Vivekananda himself was a trained singer. He received his classical music training from Beni Ustad, whose original name was Beni Gupta. In late 1881, in the first meeting between Ramakrishna and Vivekananda, like then he was known as Narendra Datta. We all know Vivekananda Swami was also known as Narendra Datta. So during the meeting of Ramakrishna and Vivekananda, Vivekananda sang few devotional songs. His trained voice and his devotion towards music highly impressed Ramakrishna. And more interestingly, in Ramakrishna Kathamrita, we find Ramakrishna repeatedly requesting Narendra to sing. Whenever he met Narendra, that is our beloved Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Swami used to request Swami Vivekananda to sing. And he sang in his melodious voice as follows. स्थापकाय च धर्मस्व सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. And guess what? By listening to this melodious voice of Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna would go in trance. Yes, he would go into trance. He would forget about his identity. He would forget about his knowledge and the coordination of senses. He would lose his mind and he would just enter into the enlightening trance, the devotional voice, the melodious voice of Swami Vivekananda would make Sri Ramakrishna to go into trance, to enter into trance like anything. So the beautiful side of Swami Vivekananda as a musician impacted Sri Ramakrishna a lot. There are some few quotes which I would like to share or Swami Vivekananda about his musical insights. I would like to say that. Swami Vivekananda would say, on the whole, I don't think there is any cause for anxiety about my body. I repeat, on the whole, I don't think there is any cause for anxiety about my body. This sort of nervous body is just the instrument to play great music at times and at times to moan in darkness. He would also say, all poetry, painting, and music is feeling expressed through words, through color, and through sound. We also find Swami Vivekananda being a devotee. Yes, he was a devotee of Lord Sri Krishna too. There are some mysterious things even today in Vrindavana which happens on daily basis. Like the great devotees can hear the flute sound of Lord Sri Krishna even today. Mere mundane persons who are in ignorance cannot understand these enlightening experiences. But the devotees like Mirabai, Surdas would experience this in real. They would hear the flute sound of Lord Sri Krishna personally. And Swami Vivekananda was also a great devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. And in this way, when he had a trip to Sri Vrindavana Dham, this flute would personally speak to Swami Vivekananda, where we find a separate work named Speaking Flute in which Swami Vivekananda's beautiful side is being described. So we see Swami Vivekananda, apart from being a philosopher, a great person, a great brave, renounced person, a sage, he was also a devotee and a musician. And these two things make me go like, wow. So these things just made me to get curious more about learning about Swami Vivekananda. He had many exemplary works in distinguishing between the Indian classical and Western classical music, and he had done many major works on music too. So these things inspire me a lot, as I am also admiring. I am also a keen observer of music, and I also love Lord Shri Krishna. So these aspects of Swami Vivekananda really touched my heart, so I wanted to share these things with you. And in the end, I would like to thank Sri Ramakrishna Mission Mutt of Thanjavur for giving me this great opportunity to discuss my viewpoints and Swami Vivekananda too. Thanks for giving the opportunity. Jai Sri Ramakrishna.